Hey, welcome back. So in this video, I want to cover Infiniti and Nissan and the importance of understanding what type of key and vehicle you're using, because there's like an interesting history of keys and how they turn their vehicles on. So it started with the turn key, obviously. Now it's ending with the push start. That's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and kind of run through what we do. So if we have a key blade like this, we want to cut. I'm going to do cut and program, it's just shorter. We cut and program with the Smart Pro. All keys will be deleted. That's for all Nissans. All deleted and added back in. So you want to make sure that your vehicle is able to turn on with the original key before you start. So we want to cut and program with the Smart Pro. Or you can use X-Horse and clone the chip if needed. Cool. So that's going to be for the key blades. Now, say if they have a standalone remote like this, it's usually on a keychain like so. You want to program the remote separate. Simple. It takes like 2 seconds and you're done. Follow the Smart Pro, it tells you what to do. Now, the next generation is a combo key. So for this, you want to, let's put combo. We're going to do remote, then cut, then program, chip. So we want to program the remote first, make sure it connects. Then we want to cut the key blade. Then we want to program the immobilizer chip. If the chip doesn't work, you can do the same thing as the blade and clone it. But if the remote doesn't connect to the vehicle, there's nothing you could do. Now, when we look at the prox twist, these look the same, but there's like a 10-year difference. A prox twist is going to rely on this ignition key and this chip. You'll see a chip there. If you look at like another, there's no chip. So this is a prox twist, this is a prox slot, and this is a push start. So when you look at the prox twist, I could use this key by itself to start the vehicle and turn it on. It's like a square rectangle shape that the key goes into and I can start it. But I can also use this as a button to lock, unlock, and horn. Or if I have this all together, I can have this in the center console, a pocket, a purse, or the seat, and I can manually turn on that twist because of the proximity function of this. If the battery dies, proximity function does not work, and you'll see the customer resort to using this key to turn it to start it. So for this, we want to program the remote first. Then we want to cut. And then we want to program with the Smart Pro. Now, if this doesn't work with the Smart Pro, this chip, we can clone it. Cool. But again, if the remote section doesn't work and you're trying to sell this combo, nothing you can do. And I've had it in the past where their vehicle doesn't work with the remote for some reason, maybe a fuse. So I just make them this key, and then now they have at least 2 keys. It works the door and the ignition. Now, a side note, it took me a while to figure this out. When you're gonna cut this a new key and you put it in and you're testing it, it will not turn the ignition unless you're in programming mode. New key, not turn until Smart Pro and program mode. Then it will turn. So many times I thought like, wow, I miscut, even though it's perfect. What the heck? I was wrong. Nope. Once you're in programming mode, then it's allowed to turn because it's sensing that chip. So if we look at a prox slot looks the same. Let's examine. No chip, or sometimes the factory will be smooth. But the telltale is these little dimples. These are the dimples that grab onto it. If it's like a Nissan Murano, it's going to grab on kind of like on the right side below the push start. You slide it in there. If it's like a Nissan Altima, it's on the bottom left, like by your left knee. So for these, you want to make sure the Smart Pro, you follow that, and you put it in the slot, not up against the push start button. Now, the biggest thing for all Nissan push starts, or things like the push starts, is you want to make sure the battery works. So you're going to go to their vehicle and you're going to check all the buttons. You're going to see if the push start works. If the push start works, have this on the seat. Does it turn on? Yes. If it doesn't, check. Then you're going to put it in the push slot, or the prox slot. Does it start? Yes. Then you're going to take the battery out and separate it. You're going to put this back on the seat, push the push start button. It'll say on the dash, no key detected. Okay, good. You're going to take the battery out, put it aside. You're going to gently and safely close it. Now you're going to put it in the prox slot, start the vehicle. If the vehicle starts, that's a good sign. If it doesn't start, walk away, red flag. That means the sensor does not work. So if you went to program and it deletes all the keys, you cannot add this back in. The vehicle's bricked. You cannot do anything. You're toast. So again, for the prox slot and the push start, you're going to make sure those buttons work on the remote, on their vehicle. You're going to make sure the push start button senses the key. You're going to make sure that the prox slot senses the key without the battery. Same thing for this, up against the push start button, to make sure the sensor is able to read and add those keys. Otherwise, when you delete, they're all gone. And that's no good. So again, you want to open this up. And I like to use a flathead, which is just the right size so it doesn't damage the plastic. And I put it back in, slide it. Cool. And good. So that's the prox slot. When you see these keys, make sure you're using that. Now for a push start, this is like, say, for like a 2016 and above to current. You know, make sure you have all the buttons, they all work. And you're going to notice it's empty. Cool. But this is going to be a push start. Now sometimes down here you're going to have the FCC ID. Whoa. You're going to want to use magnifying glass to match that. Sometimes if it's not working. If it doesn't work, use an SK or try another one. So a really good sign for this, it's going to be 5 blinks when you put in the original one, the first key, and then 5 blinks for the new key, and then the beeps. And done. Now, if you do 5 for the original one and then beeps, it means it's being rejected. And that could be that it's not being able to be read up against the key and the sensor. So what I like to do is when I'm teaching, everyone does it different. You obviously follow the Smart Pro, but let's just say this is your hand and this is like the push start button. So I'm going to press 1, 2, and then hold it right there. I'm not going to press here and like send signals of it sensing this. I'm going to press, if you can see, 1, 2, and then I hold it there. 1, 2, hold it there. So I hold it up against that push start button. Obviously I don't have a Nissan in front of me, but that's able for it to read that immobilizer. If you go 1, 2, and then put it away, it's going to beep like, hey, where's the key? What are you doing? That's why. So if you make a mistake, complete it. You're going to check it. It's all deleted or it doesn't work. Go back and start it again. So that's how you're going to do a Nissan and Infiniti. They're cousins. Infiniti's the fancy version. Same remote, same concept. Check, make sure they're able to read. Make sure you're using the right type of one. Cool. Make sure you guys give this a like and subscribe. It would help a lot. And share that information. Thanks. See you next time.